y'all enjoying y'all day today. Hope y'all being productive. Today is Monday. a lot of people dread. A lot of people dread Mondays. A lot of people dread Mondays because they got to start the week. They had fun. Probably had fun throughout the week. Uh, Spending time with family and friends, going out to the beach during this time, going out to the bars, going out to the movies. And then when you get to Monday, you get kind of depressed because you have to go back to work on Mondays, and that can be a crazy feeling. You have fun all week. You can stay up all night. Uh, during the weekend, and then Monday you got to go back to work. I know that feeling. I know that feeling because you know a lot of people, you know, a lot of people want the things they love to do to be something they do for a living. And I encourage you to work towards every day turning your passion into a business. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, this is just what I do for fun." Something that's your profession, something that you love to do. Why not make it something that you make money off of? So just try to make it your profession. Anything that you love to do, pursue it. Pursue what you really love to do as a profession and see what happens. A lot of people, they try to separate their passion and what they do for a living. you know I think you shouldn't try to separate those things. If you really love to do it, you should try to do what you love to do for a living. A lot of people feel like they're taught to separate the two, their passion and what they do to get income. I think we've been kind of programmed to separate the two, and we've been taught that we shouldn't be too relaxed working. I think that's a programmed way of thinking, that we shouldn't enjoy what we do to make money. I think that's a programmed way of thinking. And I think we need to change that trajectory as far as our thought process. I think we should be fortunate, to do what we love to do and get paid for it and make a living, full time doing what we love to do. You can be up here on YouTube. I know a lot of YouTubers, they love what they do, and they put on YouTube and they make a lot of money on YouTube because they're just doing what they love to do. Uh, as far as their crafts, their passions, their hobbies, and they put it on YouTube, and they get a lot of views, they get a lot of subscribers, they get monetized very good. They make about $3,000 a month, and that's a good amount, to live off of for a month. So don't never, let nobody tell you uh, your passion. You need to find something else to do in order, for you to make a living. I know a lot of people that's, motivational speakers. They make a living off of speaking, in front of people because that's what they love to do. And so, whatever you love to do, try to make a living off of it. Don't listen to people. They may say, you should find something else. Of course, in the meanwhile, while you trying to make your ends meet, of course, work a regular job. But while you're working your regular job, you while you working your regular job, try to, work towards using your passion as your full-time job. How you doing, TNR Ghost? My day is doing well. My day is well. Where are you right now? But anyways, yeah, try to make, your passion. Don't let nobody say, oh, you have to separate the two. You can use your passion as your income. There's so many ways these days as far as technology, as far as online services, where you can make your hobby as your 9 to 5. You have Etsy, you have Fiverr, you have so many different resources, online resources, where you can make your passion, your full-time job. So whatever you like to do, whatever you love to do in life, whatever your passions, whatever your dreams, whatever your aspirations, try to make it your business, turn it into a business. Appreciate y'all for being in here. LeBron James. That's the first time I heard that one. How you doing, SoFi? In the past, they used to say Dwayne Wade or stuff like that. But yeah, try to turn your passion into a business. If you're tuning in, let me know your passion. What's your dreams? What's your aspirations? What's up, Proven? PX Love. Appreciate you. But yeah, tell me your passions. What are you passionate about in life? Let me know in the chat. What are you passionate about in life? What's your goals? What you would love to do, in the future. What's your dreams? What's your aspirations? I know a lot of us have a lot of different goals that we love to do. LeBron James. Everybody saying LeBron James in here. Well, at least if I play, I wouldn't do a whole lot of fouls. You know how he be acting out there on the court, acting like his leg broke and all this stuff. Become a pro football player. A lot of people say I'm built like a football player, but honestly, I'm not really into football. A lot of people be surprised. I'm not really a big football person. But anyways, whatever your passion, and also no matter how many people are in your profession, a lot of people say, this profession is saturated. There's too many people trying to do, that certain thing. Still keep going at what you're trying to do. Like people say, everybody want to be a football player. Everybody wants to be a basketball player. If you really love basketball, still go and pursue it. You may stand out. From the rest. And so, yeah, always, keep going with what you really want to do. Don't let nobody discourage you. Sometimes you may feel discouraged in certain ways, but yeah, don't feel discouraged in what you really love to do. You can Google, how to do this, how to do that, and it's always somebody that's an expert in a certain field that know how to do it. And so whatever you love to do, somebody else is out there that has the same passion, the same goals. You can type how to do a certain clip art on so-and-so platform, and somebody's doing it because somebody else has the same passion or purpose that you have, and so The resources out there. I use sometimes I use Chat GPT for certain things. Use the resources, use the AI, take advantage of the AI resources that is out there as well, because they're very resourceful as well. You know, don't limit yourself as far as the resources, and don't limit yourself as far as learning new things. As far as knowledge is concerned, don't limit yourself as far as those things, and you'll get far. You get far as far as learning certain things. We oftentimes limit ourselves with resources. you know we feel like certain things is not accessible to us, but we can go out there and get it. I feel like libraries, I feel it's soon to be extinct because people can just go online. They can go on Kindle. They can go on all types of things to read books now. They don't have to get a library card. They don't have to do this. They don't have to do that in order to become successful or gain knowledge. Everything is more accessible these days. So again, hope y'all got something from this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know who's still in here. Again, appreciate y'all for watching Open-Minded Conversations, this channel. Again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Yeah, just keep going with your passion. Don't let nobody tell you have to separate your passion and where you work at. You can combine those two. Turn your passion into a business. Where you can make money off of what you love to do. I think throughout life we waste time. We waste more time doing things that we don't want to do than the things that we want to do in order to move forward in our dreams. How you doing, Sulo Kana, Aura? Yeah, I think we spend more time doing things that we really don't want to do than the things that we are really passionate about. We spend more time trying to make our supervisors happy. We spend more time trying to make our bosses happy at work instead of spending more time to make us happy with what we love to do and what we aspire to do in life. And so, yeah, strive to really do what you want to do. Like, I love talking to you guys up here on this channel. Really inspired, talking, and maybe one day I could make a living, talking and being motivational to people. You never know. But again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all for watching. Hope y'all being inspired. Hope y'all being motivated. Staying productive this week. A lot of people, they feel like, they have to be limited with what they, love to do. Just how you doing, DCF? Again, appreciate you for being in here. How you doing, DCF? Hope y'all having a great day. Hope you're following your dreams. Good to see you back up here, DCF. Again, appreciate you. But yeah, try to turn your passion into a business. You don't have to separate the two. Where you work at, what you're passionate about. You don't have to separate the two. They can be the same thing. Just stay inspired. Stay motivated with what you're doing. Yeah, dream is half. Yeah, I would love to be up here and get monetized. I'm working towards that goal. Up here on YouTube. But the main goal is to help people. Main goal is to help people, and God will bless me with those things as well. he'll add those things to, uh, you know, what I have, as far as being monetized on this channel. I do have another channel. Y'all can check out my other channel, Music Tips and Reviews with JG. That's monetized, and I'm trying to get this, this channel monetized as well, because I love, motivating people as well. And so this is my channel where I can just talk. My other channel, I do music reactions and music tips and stuff like that, because I am a musician. That's going well. So, hopefully I can, as well get monetized on this channel as well. So that would be a dream of mine. But, I just want to motivate you guys, whatever passions you have, in life, whatever passions, don't feel bad, don't feel bad that, that you want to, make this thing your living, whatever you love to do, don't be afraid to want to make it a living, So again, appreciate y'all for being in here. Appreciate y'all for being in here. Yeah, you only have one life to live, and that's what I preach. 100%. Do what you love. Also, what's the other channel? Yeah, type in Music Tips and Reviews with JG. Music Tips and Reviews with JG. That's my other channel. Music Tips and Reviews with JG. That's my other channel. So again, appreciate y'all. And like you say, you only have one life to live. You only have one life to live. So do what you love to do. But yeah, appreciate y'all for being up here. Appreciate y'all for being up here. Hope y'all have a blessed week. All right, I'll talk to y'all guys later. All right, peace.